Hello and welcome back to what's a little bit of a different video. It's Rare Disease Day today. For those of you that don't know, I'm someone who suffers from a rare disease called Tricho Hepato Enteric Syndrome, which basically means I don't have a functioning immune system, which is fun, as I'm sure you can imagine. But I've never really touched on it much on the channel. I spent a lot of last summer in hospital, about 2 months in the end, which is why I didn't cover some games at the start of the season. I did put out like a little update video on the channel, which a few people watched. But I wasn't really going into too much depth about what was going on in life because it was all very up in the air at the time, unfortunately. Bottom line is, we don't really know, or I don't really know at least, what caused what happened in the summer. I was having some crazy temperature swings, going as high as 41.2, and if you know medical stuff, 41.4 tends to put you in a coma. So that wasn't ideal. And then there was about a week period where every time I'd go to sleep at night, my body temperature would drop down to like 34.5 sort of range, which is dangerously low. So I was going hypothermic at night, and then I'd wake up and my body would fire up the other end, and it was all a little bit scary. And to be brutally honest, I nearly died multiple times throughout the summer. But yeah, the Tricho Hepato Enteric Syndrome is the overarching condition which I was diagnosed with on the 5th of July in 2012, shortly before my 8th birthday in Birmingham by Dr. Jane Hartley. And like I said, it means that you don't have a functioning immune system. It also comes with various other side effects like a wide forehead, which is why my hairline's this bad at 19 years old. Chronic diarrhea, an enlarged spleen in a lot of people, which is something I have as well, which is very dangerous. Basically means that, so your spleen's kind of supposed to be like fist sized, and instead of mine comes from here and then goes down into my pelvis, which isn't great because it's full of blood vessels. So one knock or a punch or something like that, to that area, and I could very easily bleed to death internally, which it's not great. I kind of laugh to try and get through it sometimes, I guess. So when I'm sat here laughing, it's not a laughing matter. Ultimately, it's really quite bad. But there are less than 100 of us in the world, and I'm the only adult in the UK with it. So it's a very, very lonely time, really, sometimes with this disease. But I thought I'd come on and kind of shed some light onto Rare Disease Day. I'll leave various links in the description if you want to go and read up a bit more about rare diseases. There was an article written on me once by the Mirror when I was 12, I believe, 12 or 13. But they got a lot of stuff wrong and kind of twisted my words a bit, so that wasn't great. So I won't leave that linked. If you want to go and find it, then find it. But take everything in there with a pinch of salt. If you want the real story, feel free to message me. I'm always willing to talk about it if people have an interest. Follow me on Twitter, I guess, is probably where I put a lot of medical updates when I was in hospital and things like that. I've got a nice little list here of surgeries I've had, and we're up to probably 30 odd, I think, now. So I've had a central line in and out when I was a baby, and I've got a big scar. I can't remember which side it is. I think it's that side, kind of under my armpit to prove it. I've had 2 bone marrow biopsies, one of which was in the summer. Multiple endoscopies and colonoscopies, which look at your bowels and your intestines and your stomach and stuff. So they put a big tube, quite a small tube, I guess, ultimately, a very long tube with a very small camera down your throat, and the colonoscopy goes up the other end, which is fun. A flexisigmoidoscopy, which I had 2 of in the summer, which is similar to a colonoscopy but doesn't go quite as far up. I've had grommets in and out on my ears. I once had a perforated eardrum back in, I think that was around 2012 as well, not long before I got diagnosed with Tricho Hepato Enteric Syndrome, because I remember being at some sort of, I think was it the Queen's Diamond Jubilee maybe in 2012? Was that 60 years or 50 years? It's something along those lines. No, 50 is golden, isn't it? So there must have been a diamond one in 2012. And yeah, I remember having a very gunky ear basically. So there was a hole in my eardrum, which was kind of, for want of a better word, oozing. It wasn't great, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't very nice at all. And then I had to have a laryngoplasty to fix that, which is where they kind of cut, it was on my left ear, so if I take my glasses off, you won't be able to see it on camera, but there's a big scar behind there, where they have to kind of cut your ear open and then graft some muscle from kind of here, like behind your ear, kind of round by your neck, and pull it over the eardrum to stop the hole. But the issue with that was in 2022, I started to lose my hearing in my left ear because where they'd fixed that in 2012, I think it was, no, I didn't have the surgery until 2013, March 2013, because it was on my brother's first birthday, if I remember correctly. Once they fixed that, it caused some sort of weird, like, I don't know how you describe it. I guess it's kind of imbalance within my ear eventually, where like there was like trapped air and stuff, and then there was some sort of infection within the eardrum that they had to go in and do a tympanoplasty to fix in November of 2022, which led to me missing a few games as well. At the time, I think it was, I can't remember who we played, Sheffield United on a Friday night or Wednesday night or something. I remember that being on TV. I missed Lincoln in the cup when we lost 3-1, the Stefan Bajic game. And then I broke my arm once, so that was a surgery I had to have, which isn't really related to the condition. There's been a lot of chest infections, eye infections, skin infections, a lot of things like that. I'll kind of overlay some photos throughout this of the meds I have to take. I think I take 15 tablets, 13 tablets, something like that a day at the moment. It's ridiculous. I'm not really allowed to go abroad at the moment because I'm not kind of far enough clear from what happened in the summer, which was like probably the most ill I've ever been. I've been very ill a lot of times, I'll be honest, but yeah, the summer was the worst 8 weeks of my life. I'll be brutally honest. It was really, really not very fun. So yeah, I thought, I don't really know what else I have to say. I guess it's kind of just one of those that, yeah, if you're interested, or even if you're not, just share this video around and help raise awareness for Rare Disease Day. A close family friend of mine is running the London Marathon in April, I believe it's the 21st of April, to help raise awareness and funding for Rare Disease UK. So I'll leave the link to the Just Giving page down in the description below. If you want to donate, that would be amazing. If you don't, then that's absolutely fine. But no matter how little or big the donation is, it will be greatly, greatly appreciated. And yeah, I hope it's kind of opened some people's eyes, I guess, to the real story. I've never really sat on here and opened up about my condition and the way it makes me feel sometimes. Being the only adult in the UK as well, like the most of us don't live past 5, which is quite harrowing, really. I'm 20 in July, which, you know, fingers crossed I get there ultimately, because it was very touch and go at points as to whether I was going to make it to 19 after last summer. So yeah, fingers crossed we make it to 20, and I guess I'll have quadrupled the normal mortality rate, which is great, yay! But it doesn't kind of make up for all the missed opportunities and all the like unfortunate children who have lost their lives at such a young age through this horrible illness. And like I said, if anyone has any questions, then do feel free to message me, and I'll kind of go through them. And you know, as long as they're sensible, don't come in and be disrespectful or rude or anything like that. But I'm hoping it sheds some light onto the right sort of side of things, I guess. And yeah, if I'm ever missing games and things like that where you probably wouldn't expect me to, I normally post about it, but if I'm not, then that's probably why. I'm probably wrapped up in a hospital somewhere or at home ill. I have to have 2 injections a week every Monday, which is fun, into my thighs. They last for an hour and a half in each leg, because it used to be an hour for the 2 legs, but then when you get up to adult care, you only get 1 pump instead of 2, and I had to increase my dosage as well. So that now takes 3 hours every Monday morning, which is a great way to spend my day on a Monday. Yeah, it's not very fun, bottom line, but I guess to kind of leave you with something to ponder, just take everything. Don't take anything for granted. Just do as much as you can. You know, if you're watching this and you're able to, go and hug your family. Go and tell them you love them. Go and hug your dog. Go and dance a bit longer with your mates on a night out. Go to that gig where you got to sing a little louder. And yeah, just enjoy life, because quite frankly, you don't know what's gonna come around the corner sometimes and knock you for 6. The last, 8 months since I first got admitted in June have been hell, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's a condition overall that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So yeah, I've managed to get through this without crying, which is handy. I didn't think I would, I'll be brutally honest, but yeah, if you feel free to subscribe and stuff, I guess. I don't really want to push that sort of thing. Any monetization from this video will be going into the Just Giving page for the London Marathon as well, of course. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this to some degree, and it's kind of helped you understand what goes on in my life and learn a little bit more about rare diseases, because Rare Disease Day in general isn't spoken about a whole lot, because obviously it's not very well known. That's kind of the whole point of it, is not many people know about rare diseases. So to try and shed some light on it, when I've got a bit of a following, you know, we're up to nearly 2,000 subscribers and things like that now, it just feels like the right thing to do in some aspects. So yeah, hopefully enjoyed listening to me, found it a bit interesting. It's kind of opened your eyes to some stuff with a bit of luck. But yeah, I'll see you on, who have we got? We've got Cardiff on Saturday, haven't we? This is being recorded just before I go to Glasgow for the weekend, which is would have happened a few days ago if you're watching this on the day it comes out. But yeah, hopefully we beat Cardiff in the derby. On Saturday there'll be a video out for that, of course. And yeah, love you all. I'll see you later. Cheers.